Hello, YouTube. Been a long time since I shot a video. Um, it is currently the end of October of 2023, and the Leatherman Arc just was released, and I actually did order one. I thought I'd give you my 2 cents on it and what I've been carrying for probably over 2 years. And I did try the free P4, which I will show in a minute. And what my 2 cents are on why I ordered the ARC and what I think it will do between closing the gap between what I have on the table here and the free P4. So, what I have on the table here is a custom sheath made by Skinth Solutions out of Canada, I believe. It is the L Shield, or excuse me, the XL Shield. So it fits the Surge. I've been carrying this for about 2 years, minus this flashlight, which I just upgraded recently. I used to carry a ThruNite, I think it was TI3. I lost the clip for it, and during Amazon Prime Day, I ordered one of these for about 20, or no, maybe it was 15 bucks. Olight i3T, no complaints on this. It's a single AAA battery. I use Eneloops rechargeable in it. Works great for my application. I also carry the bit extender from Leatherman. I have a Fisher Space Pen clip on it, which you can buy right off Amazon. They seem to fit right on. You just got to clamp it a little bit, but makes it a little more secure. I also carry, so I always leave the wood saw on mine for my applications, but I have the file for the T-shank right here. And I also have a Bosch metal file. I almost never use that, but I have it if I need it. And I also have one sleeve of the Leatherman bits. So I kind of tailored this to my application. My applications are basic knife maintenance. So I have the T6, T8. I have a couple extra flats. I also have some torque bits down here for T25 and I think T10 and T15. A lot of wood screws nowadays use those. And I have some hex bits, which I carry specifically for firearm maintenance, whether you're adjusting a sight or whatnot. So, the Surge. Do I think the ARC is going to replace this? Absolutely not. I think, first off, if you actually watch the videos when the P4 was released and they say they're the strongest player heads, they're talking the strongest player heads for the size. So this is closer to the Wave size. This is like 4.25, I think, frame. This is like 4.5. You can obviously see the Surge. Player heads are bigger. You can obviously grip bigger nuts with it from the gap right here. I would say if you're a heavy duty diesel mechanic, or if you just ride a lot of, like, you know, say you're on your motorcycle all the time, or you're just looking for a tool, strictly automotive type use, I would say the Surge is definitely going to fit your use a lot better. I've done all sorts of things with this in the 2 years that I've owned it, from pulling fuses to pulling a dashboard apart with a bit kit on a Freightliner truck, all sorts of things. And I've even actually, you know, fishing, I had to adjust the carburetors on my boat at the time, which had a 60 horse Evinrude. I used the bit extender and the Phillips, and I fine-tuned the 3 carburetors on that 60 horse and got it running because it was running like crap out on the middle of the lake. So, some of the things that I love about the Surge. First off, the T-shank. Everybody loves the Surge for this. I normally keep the wood file in it for camping use, and because my employment, I'm in the wood industry. But I always have the option with this sheath I have the regular file there. I've never really found much use for the file, but I keep it there. The serrated blade. Now, I hate serrated blades, but I always like them on my multi-tools because I'll use it for things that I won't use my regular blade for. So first off, straight off the bat, all these multi-tools that I own, Leatherman, doesn't matter if it's Victorinox, they're never my primary blade. I always carry a regular blade. This is a custom Benchmade Mini Crooked River with 20 CV. This is always in my pocket, and if I have to cut anything, I'm always pulling this out first before I even touch my multi-tool or my Leatherman. But this has come in handy many times, like if I'm trying to cut plastic banding on a lumber unit or something like that, I will use this, without a doubt. Is that going to be a mark against the new Arc? I don't think so. I really don't, because honestly, cutting plastic banding or something like that, I could just use the saw. It is nice that this saw is replaceable, but I really don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. So, going back to the blades, so you have your straight blade. This blade is the original factory edge, and I have never sharpened it, and I almost never use it. So that, to me, is kind of wasted space the way I use my multi-tools. Alright, inside. So you got the ruler here. I don't know why they don't do this on the Free Series. It is handy every once in a while, whether you're measuring a bolt or something like that. It's nice to have that. Once again, I'm kind of in the wood industry. I could just use a regular tape measure, but it's nice to just have that there in case I'm not near my vehicle or something. The bit kit. That right there is the main reason why I found the P4 is not really going to work for me. I've been carrying a P4 for the past 2 months, and yes, I've got away with just the Phillips driver, but honestly, having the bit kit, like I showed earlier on this, to be able to do firearm maintenance or maybe other tool maintenance, having the hex heads and the torque bits is just a game changer in my opinion. So, that right there is kind of self-explanatory. Now, the can opener. So on this one, it's a can / bottle opener. I will tell you that I honestly prefer this type of can opener than the can opener that is on the Free Series. So on the Free Series, this is a push type can opener, so you're pushing like this when you're cutting the can open. On this one, you're actually pulling backwards. I find this works better, but as a bottle opener, it sucks. Just my 2 cents. I've tried opening like bottles of beer with it, and this bottle opener, specifically on Heineken brand, you put that on and boom, it pops right off. This one, you have to literally have the bottle opener like this and have it just right to get it to pop a top off. To me, that's dumb. This one is no nonsense. It just pops right off and boom, you put it back in the tool and you're good to go. So, moving over the other side of the Surge. So you got this mini flathead. You have this bigger flathead, which is huge. And then you have the awl. Now this awl is definitely a lot beefier than the awl on this. Matter of fact, half of the tools on this, when you feel them, they almost feel like toys. I honestly, this awl, I have used it to like ream holes in paper, like a hole punch almost. It works okay. I have yet to have to use an awl that has an eye in it, so it doesn't bother me that the Arc doesn't have the eye in it for sewing. But when you look at, this is the biggest flathead that you have or excuse me, no, it's not. The biggest flathead that you have on a P4 is this one, and when you look at it compared to the Surge, obviously there's probably another 1/8 of an inch, if not more, on there. This one does seem like it's a little bit thicker in metal, so it's more of a pry tool, but then you also have this cutout relief here for a package opener. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I think the package opener is kind of a joke on a knife that has a true blade on it, because you can totally open a package with this Wharncliffe without an issue. I don't know why people seem to think they need that. Other than that's 420 steel. Once again, this is my application. If I have this knife on me, which I always do, or another knife with 20 CV steel, if I'm opening a package, I'm probably going to use my main fixed blade for it. This little screwdriver, I have used this quite a bit, honestly. One example is my Nissan Frontier pickup truck. I had to replace one of the washer fluid squirters, and there's a cap on your windshield wipers, and I use this and I popped them right off before I can get the actual wrench on the nut and pull. Yeah, long story short, you got to pull the entire dash or front of the vehicle apart to replace a washer nozzle. But that's one thing that's come in handy with that. The pry bar, there's multiple things that I've used this for, whether it's using it just as a flat driver or as a little mini pry bar. I can't even list the kind of things that I've done with that. And just straight up, the scissors on this knife, or excuse me, multi-tool, are amazing. So they are definitely beefier, and it feels like the tolerances on it, as far as side-by-side play, are better than my specific P4. Either one of them will, like, if you're trying to cut like a cotton t-shirt or something up for like firearm maintenance, or I just literally oiled both these tools. These scissors just kick butt. These are okay, definitely better than the Wave, but they can use a little bit of improvement compared to the Surge. So that's my applications. Now, past month, I've been carrying the biggest problem with the Surge, and especially the way that I carry it, between this and a flashlight and a couple extra blades and one section of the bit kit. This is like 18 ounces right here that you're carrying on your belt. Matter of fact, let's get the scale out. Let's see what it is. So 18.58 ounces. So that's over a pound on your belt. Now that may not be a big deal where I am up in upstate New York, if you got some heavy clothing on and like thermals and you work outdoors, you know, when it's 30, 20 degrees. But middle of summer, if you're trying to stay high and dry and light because it's summer and it's hot out, this is a lot of weight on your belt. And especially if you're moving, I've noticed like this thing kind of flops. Just maybe the way the belt clip is and you got this weight over here. Like if you try jogging or running real quick with this, like it does flop. So I thought, you know what? Let me get something a little more lightweight. I really don't like the Wave. I think this had better tools on it than the Wave for me, personally. So I bought a Leatherman P4. I also have a Skinth Solutions. This is the L-Shield that I bought for a Leatherman Wave years ago before I got into this thing with a Surge. And the way I was carrying this for the past 2 months was, let me see if I get away without the big cat. Let me just do my flashlight and the P4. And honestly, 90% of the time it worked. But there are some issues with it. So first off, this side right here, I've used the can opener for camping, and I've used the yawl. This file's about worthless. Once again, with the Surge, the reason I don't carry the files because I'm not filing too much metal or wood. It's nice that I have it on this, but this to me is like wasted space. And then the fact that you got a mini flat driver, you have this thing, unless you work at a tire company and you're trying to measure depth of tread, I don't know why they have a ruler on it. I've also found that this wire stripper, let me show you the wire stripper on the Surge. That's one thing that's nice about the Surge. Excuse me, the can opener also has the wire stripper on it, so you can get some big wire, but on top of that, the way this is designed, I believe Texas Tool Crib was the one that pointed this out to me, is you can actually kind of pinch it right there and twist the wire as you're pushing down on this. That's awesome. On this, I've tried it. It does work, but that's just a small opening. The other thing, this Phillips, it's so thin at the end. Like, if there was truly a Phillips that was tight, this diameter, I wouldn't want to torque on it as hard as you can with this because I feel like this metal would bend. Not so much on the Surge. Another thing, like I said earlier, the file. The file just sucks on it. Everybody knows that. So really on this whole side, the only two tools I really used have been the can opener, which I prefer the one on this one better. But that, I'm so glad they have it on. I know a lot of people say, oh, what do you need a can opener for? If you do a lot of camping outdoor stuff, it's nice to have that on your multi-tool. It really is. The yawl, you got this tiny little point. Yeah, you can use it like for maybe mini prying, but honestly, I've used this more for like reaming. Like I didn't have a hole punch. I could ream a hole in a piece of paper. And I think the new Arc Awl is going to be that much better. I've never used a sewing eye. So I will update this after I get an Arc because I have pretty much found that the free P4 does not meet my needs. I've never used a knife blade on it. I have used a serrated blade, like I said, for cutting plastic banding. But the fact that this weighs that much less does make a difference. And I think this is a good, like, for me, and summertime type carry, or if I'm hiking or camping. But having the ability to use multiple bits and have this bit extender, I think are really where the free series with the Arc is going to shine over this. Like I said, I will update it. I honestly, 90% of the time, this will get the job done for me, but I just feel so much prepared when I have this. If I was like straight out going out for the day, like going four-wheeling on the four-wheeler, and I want to carry minimal tools, I would totally bring the Surge over this, just because I have more ability to fix more things mechanically with something like this than this. But if you are looking for a good sheath other than Leatherman, I will highly, highly recommend these Skintz Solutions one's an L shield, one's an XL shield. These things are several years old and they still snap and go together awesome. You can pull them off your belt real quick if you need to, because they have belt clips, not loops. Highly recommended. I will update this when I get the Arc and get some initial impressions.